Hello, welcome back to theCUBE. We're here in San Francisco at Fort Mason for the Cerebras SUPERNOVA events, turning into a conference because the attendance is now over 2,000 people and growing. Huge, oversubscribed. event press conference is going on now, big news. The fastest inference chip. Cerebras continuing to lead the pack, of course. We've got the coverage here with the pop-up cube. We'll do whatever it takes to get the action. Meghan McKenna is here, founder and CEO of FIF Collective, which stands for Females in Finance. It's one of the largest, fastest growing micro communities. Congratulations, thanks for coming on theCUBE.
Thank you for having me, John.
So I follow you online and all your endeavors. You are all over the place. You're almost like a reporter. You're seeing all the action. Cerebras, you have some members in your collective that work here that also partners, but you're also surveying the landscape. You see a lot of the action. What's your take? As you look at the landscape, I mean, hype aside, there's a lot of action happening. What are you seeing in New York? Obviously you're in New York, so we're here in California, but you're here too all the time.
Absolutely. I mean, FIF now is fully global and we're scaling kind of everywhere, but our two action-packed cities are really New York and San Francisco. And as you mentioned, Cerebras has been kind of one of the first adopters of so many different hype tech potential things that are going on, and Terumi is one of our members, so we're happy to have her. But our company, Females in Finance Collective, we're a group of female founders, CEOs, CFOs, tons of finance execs, and doing really cool events all over the place. So excited to be here and join in on what Cerebras is building.
I like how you allow me to participate in the group as a male, even if it's not just females. You guys are inclusive. It's a lot of collaboration. I will say that I'm very impressed by the quality of the community and the authentic help, because you got a search, text stream, you have great conversations, there's a lot of sharing, ton of support. This is kind of like the envy of micro community, not just saying I'm part of a group. I've seen some strings online around, hey, I'm part of this group, but they're more horizontal. You guys are really targeted. Talk about these micro communities that are emerging, because you really can't be horizontal big and deep. I think I made a comment on it. It seems like, yeah, I'm a member of AAA because I have a car. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
But I don't go there to get advice. I go to my private group for
100%.
car advice. So micro communities go deeper in the verticals. Explain the phenomenon that is micro community trust networks.
I will say, I think where I developed FIF was based on my background, being a recovering banker, 20 years across JPMorgan, HSBC, and Stifel. Had a really organic group of growth stage CFOs and finance execs that I had access to, including venture capitalists and private equity folks. So having been embedded in that environment for such a long time, it was just an organic move for me. And I always loved being a super connector. I found a lot of value and just enjoyment in making sure that other people were able to connect with one another and get real business done. Some men go on the golf course. We tend to do it a little bit differently, and everybody within FIF wants to help each other, including our Ally Advisory Board, which you're a part of. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, and I love how it's very business oriented, but it's not too social. I mean, it's social in the sense of everyone's friendly, but there's a lot of business getting done. I mean, I saw a couple threads in there, at least 3 or 4 excellent jobs that I would have been like, if I was a CFO, almost choice assignments.
I will say we're super happy. A couple of placements that were in high regard and high demand. The CFO of Vast Data found out about that through FIF, and most recently we just placed the CFO at Midjourney because Nadia Ali, who is now the new CFO of Emergence AI, ended up connecting with Amy Cox, their new CFO, and you know, those are 2 very big brand names that are exciting to be a part of.
Well, Meghan, you know I love what you do. theCUBE and NYSE with Brian Baum and NYSE Wire, that was formed. A trust network's forming, and the phenomenon that I see is why I love what you're doing is because it's not trying to replace other things. It's actually a targeted, vertical, focused, but yet wide group within that vertical of trust. And what Brian is doing with NYSE Wire, what we have at theCUBE is, when you merge these networks together, they're not competing, they're connecting. So you're nurturing each other's networks, and the traversal across replicates the horizontal, which can get diluted, generic, feels like vanilla, right? Yep. So you're starting to see kind of like this abstraction layer in the social web, where when you meet face to face at an event, and you do a lot of events too, we do too, you meet people.
Yep.
Oh, I like that person, or I don't like that person. I don't
Yep.
want to engage online with that person, or I like that person. That face-to-face value translates directly into online engagement.
Yep.
That
And
is, I think this is the first time I've seen this phenomenon in the history of the web.
For sure. And I also think that, with communities, it is, there's a lot of players that want to be involved in community, but I think the ones that are super genuine, looking to help one another, are the ones that end up being the most impactful and are there for the right reason. And I think that's why FIF is really kind of soaring very quickly. We're celebrating our 2-year anniversary in June, and it's definitely been a rocket ship. So I'm excited to see where the future goes.
I've been having so much fun with the Palo Alto studio and NYSE with Brian, because we created theCUBE plus NYSE Wired, because it's kind of a collaboration, loose collaboration. But the plus, like Disney Plus, I can see CUBE plus FIF. So,
I hope so, and I would love that.
There could be a FIF TV.
Yeah.
We would love to power that. So again, we're looking at these things. Again, this is the innovation. And again, with Cerebras powering everything, the story here is they have the fastest chip.
Absolutely.
What's your take on Cerebras? What's your vibe, besides being biased that you have a member here?
I've been a big fan for a long time, and honestly, we have a couple of female founders that are early disruptors that potentially could be partners with Cerebras. So that's kind of my next plan, is to figure out how to broker some conversations and make some introductions there. I think, the way I got connected to you was also through network. So the New York Stock Exchange has been a big partner of mine from day one. We did our 1-year anniversary celebration there. Didn't get to ring the bell yet, but hopefully one day we'll be public and be able to do so.
Well, I love what you do, and I love your attitude, love the community, and again, you've got a good commentary. You could be a reporter for theCUBE.
You know what? If
you get the day job.
If things don't work out, maybe I will.
It's looking pretty good for you. Just in general, as a tech athlete in the arena, obviously you're everywhere too with theCUBE. What's your take on everything? What's the Meghan vibe of the industry right now? How would you categorize? Because I love hype on one scale, but it doesn't seem like it's overhyped. Yeah, there's hype on agents, no doubt about it. But there's real agents happening. The infrastructure, we might lose power. I was talking to Bill Ty about the energy problem. But I think entrepreneurs will fill that void. What's your general sentiment in the New York scene, Silicon Valley, those two hubs that you're connecting together through that community? What's your vibe?
I think, there was kind of a little bit of a lull within the venture community in 2022, that certain investors were, still funneling money into things. But I think now everyone's kind of excited. And again, I think the power of connection is making that possible. So people getting together in person, figuring out if there's synergies between different businesses. Obviously, the M&A market is heating up, and you heard at RSA, there were quite a few acquisitions that happened there. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that. And as markets start to open up, then hopefully more people go public with the New York Stock Exchange.
Well, I think you got a great nose for the content. You know the trends. You had a banking background. I think that's coming out. Obviously, a great network. Give a plug for FIF, for folks watching that are in finance. How do they get involved? What's it like there? What can they expect? What's the kind of takeaway? Obviously, it's open source, but some services, there's some paid stuff. There's all kinds of action. Give the plug for FIF.
Sure. So we are 1,450 plus members now and growing. We've been in business now for 2 years, but partners like the New York Stock Exchange, Ramp, NetSuite, all the big accounting firms, all the big law firms. We do curated networking events in every major city where we have a concentration of women, job placement for CFOs, board seat advocacy to get women on boards. We're doing all the placement today for Gangels, and now we're doing a lot of speaker placement. So all the big tech conferences, you think Montgomery Summit, HumanX, we just signed on with the Raise Summit at the Louvre in Paris. So it's really a community where people try to help each other, and we're both a combination of members, allies, but with the big intent to make sure that women are elevated. Yeah,
great mission. By the way, I'll just put a plug in for you. I love how you got the curated dinners, salon dinners kind of vibe. Also little meetups that are kind of not just like the old school meetups, actually intimate, high quality.
Absolutely, and we try to make sure that everyone gets to meet everybody in those rooms. We share guest lists. We don't hide anything. We're super transparent because we do curate the best rooms in the business.
Well, Meghan, great to have you pop into our pop-up cube. It feels like the red carpet here.
This is fun. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming on. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, John.
We're in all the action here at the Cerebras SUPERNOVA. Actually, quite an event. It's a news event. It's a press briefing. They have the big keynote. It's actually turning into a little mini conference. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a conference for Cerebras. Of course, they're attracting all the hottest startups, all the innovators, all the players are here. Of course, theCUBE's here. I'm John Furrier, your host. Thanks for watching.